Hey friends, thank you very much for watching. This is the members only video for Cover Me Up by Jason Isbell, and again the Morgan Wallen version of this same song. This will all apply to that too. So first up, I want to give just a quick overview on some of the chord shapes, the difference between drop D and standard tuning, and I also want to talk about strumming pattern stuff. Now a bit later in this video, I'll get into some playthroughs. I do one with standard tuning and one with drop D tuning, beginning to end for both of them. They're both at 44 beats per minute with a metronome on. So let's get into it. And also I'll say with regard to capo, you have options. You can do no capo. That's what Morgan Wallen does. That's what I'm going to do. You can do capo first fret. That's what Jason Isbell does on his album. Or you can do capo second fret, which is what Jason Isbell does when he plays it live. So you have options there. I just want to present that info for you out of the gate so you know what you're getting into. But with that said, let's get into this video, and I hope this is helpful. Let me know if you have any questions or comments, and I'll be happy to answer. All right, y'all, so let's get into some of the chord shapes just as a quick review to what we're going to need to play this song. So biggest big picture, bird's eye view, whatever you want to call it, we'll need a D, a G minor, a B minor, and an E minor, okay? 4 chords are all we need to play this entire song. Now I'm in standard tuning right now. These are the sort of typical standard tuning voicings, the D and the G, the B minor, and the E minor. Now, if you can't play bar chords yet, and you really want to play this song, the B minor, if you can't bar it, what you can do is think of it like an A minor shape, right? If you took of your A minor, right? And you took the second, third, and fourth string, and you just took this shape and you slid it up 2 frets. So it's third, fourth, fourth, or I guess fourth, fourth, third. These notes are in the B minor chord. But if you play it like this, you only want to get those second, third, and fourth strings. You kind of don't want to play the thinnest string or the 5th string because they would be out of key, okay? So I'm kind of like lightly letting this finger touch the 5th string and letting this finger kind of lightly touch well, this is touching the thinnest string, I'm sorry, and this one's touching the 5th string. So this could be a B minor if you're in a pinch. But again, ideally, you can sort of play the regular B minor. Now, that's the sort of regular way to play the chords. I talked about this in my intro, the intro riff video, which is a separate video, but I have the D, a regular D, you'll need obviously a D sus2, lots of transitions between those 2 chords, right? D sus2 is you're just taking off your thinnest string note. Now, from there, after the D, the G, I do note here how I'm typically playing the G like this, where this is my D and this is my G. I'm sort of leaving my left ring finger right here, and I'm using my middle finger to play the 3rd fret. I'm muting this note. I like this G because it kind of sounds more neutral. There's no major thirds in it, actually, because we're not playing any of the Bs. The B would be the major third note in a G chord. But this one sounds nice and neutral, which I think fits this song well. And also you have this consistent note right here, this 3rd fret note, which is also going to be in the B minor. Now with the B minor, one thing I'll do sometimes is I'll unbar it so the thinnest string rings out. And then notice how with the D and the D sus2 and the G, and I have this G with the open high E string, and then the B minor. So basically all these chords, I'm sometimes going to add this open high E string when I'm playing it from beginning to end, okay? E minor is a regular E minor, nice and easy there. So that's the standard tuning way to play all those chords. Now if you're in drop D, as I mentioned before, your D is a nice 6th string D, and you have your D sus2, same thing. Your G is going to look like this. Ring finger down here, index finger right here. Okay, I'll never push down the thinnest string. Sometimes I'll leave it open, like I said. Or I'll just mute it. And if you want, you can put your pinky down on the 5th fret of the 5th string. So you have 5th, 5th, open, open, 3rd. So that's your G. Get good at going from the D to the G. You might need to practice that a little bit if you're in drop D. Now the B minor stays the same because it doesn't involve this low E string. So that's good thing about drop D, B minor, it stays the same. For the E minor, you can't play a regular E minor all the way because this low E string is no longer an E. So there's two things you can do. One is you just sort of do an E minor like you normally would, and then I kind of just mute the thickest string by lightly touching my finger into it like that. Okay, as long as you're making contact with that low E string. You also could do it up here with your thumb. This sounds like an E minor well enough. Now, if you really want that low E note, what you can do is do second fret on the thickest string. So you're doing second, 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 open. Second, 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 open, open, open. Okay, that's an E minor. But again, you only need E minor one time during the chorus, and I'll typically just do a regular E minor and mute the low E string. Okay, now let's get into the chord progression and the timing. So next up, let's look at the chord progression for this song. And look at the intro, the verse, and the chorus, because this is what you're going to need to play this entire thing. So we're going to have 6 beats per measure here. Okay, now on my playthroughs, I'm going to put my metronome on at 44 beats per minute. So that's going to be a slow tick, 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 tick. But each of those ticks is going to have 3 subdivisions. So it really would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's just a note if you do put a metronome on, and how I like to work with 6/8 time, where you have 6 counts per measure, but really it's like the 1 and the 4 count are your main beats, and you have these other 2 counts like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For every 6 measure beat, you want to think of it that way. Now, strumming pattern wise, what I do is I'll just do, at the very least, you want to do a basic strum on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? A man on the run keeps a hand on the gun. Can't trust anyone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's the most basic strum you could do. If you want to dial it up, what I'll do is I'll do a down, up, 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 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 6, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, and 6, and 1. Okay, so if you were to do, if you were to look at the let's just do the intro, the D to G to D to D. So 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, and 6, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, and 6, and down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And with this song, less is generally more. Okay, you don't need to overdo it. You can kind of strum some of the strings, no. The 1 and the 4 count, I'll typically do a full strum, but on the other counts, you might just grab a few of the strings, right? Up, down, up, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 6, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4. So that's basically how I would approach strumming. Now, if you look at the chord progressions again, check this out. The D to G to D to D is going to happen in the intro, it's going to happen in the verse, and it's going to happen in the chorus. So that's kind of like your default progression for this entire song. There are parts though, like in the verse, we're going to have a section where we go from a B minor for one measure to a G to a D to D, right? So B minor, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6, and G, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, and 6, and D, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, and 6, and D, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, and 6. So that's the only part that'll happen there. And in the chorus, we're going to have a section where we go from an E minor to a G to a B minor to a B minor. So it's cold in this house. Oh, man, I can't sing this right now. So E minor, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, and 6, and G, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, and 6, and B minor, 2, and B minor again. Then we go to the regular D, 2, that's going to be the version of the song. That's the chord progression for the entire song, basically. Now, let's get to some playthroughs here. I'm going to do this first playthrough, standard tuning, no capo, and I'm going to keep the riffs kind of simple. Now, here are some general tips I have for when you're doing these riffs, when you're actually playing the song. Lots of times in my chord chart here, you'll see that it says riff over certain lyrics. That kind of means like, you know, so a heart on the run keeps a hand on the gun, can't trust anyone. Second line, it goes like this. I was so sure what I needed was more, tried to shoot out the sun. Now, here's the thing. You don't need to play the riff over the lyrics all the time. You could just do a heart on the run, keeps a hand on the gun, can't trust anyone, right? And I was so sure what I needed was more. I'm just doing the down strum on the 1 and the 4 there. I'm not playing the riff. It sounds just fine. So when you're playing the song from beginning to end, my suggestion is keep it simple at first. Add the riffs only where you feel comfortable, okay? Don't try to force it out of the gate, because if that causes you to stumble and you can't play it at all, then that's no fun, okay? So let's get to this. I'm going to do the full song first with standard tuning, no capo, and then I'm going to do it drop D tuning, and I'll get a bit more flamboyant with my strumming and everything. So I'll give you two different versions of playthroughs here, okay? So let me put the metronome on and let's get to it. Hard on the run, keeps a hand on the gun, can't trust anyone. I was so sure what I needed was more, tried to shoot out the sun. Days when we raged, we flew off the page, such damage was done. I made it through, 'cause somebody knew I was meant for someone. So girl, leave your boots by the bed, we ain't leaving this room till someone needs medical help or the magnolias bloom. It's cold in this house and I ain't going out to chop wood. Cover me up and know you're enough to use me for good. Put your faith to the test when I tore off your dress in Richmond on high. I sobered up, I swore off that stuff forever this time. And the old lovers sing, I thought it'd be me who helped him get home. But home was a dream, one that I'd never seen till you came along. Girl, leave your dress out to dry, we ain't leaving this room till Percy Priest breaks open wide and the river runs through. Carries this house on the stone like a piece of driftwood. Cover me up to know you're enough Apologies there, I lost the melody. Girl, leave your boots by the bed. We ain't leaving this room. Someone needs medical help or a magnolia's bloom. It's cold in this house and I ain't going out to chop wood. Cover me up, I know you're enough to use me for good. Cover me up, I know you're enough to use me for good. All right, so there you have it. That was the playthrough in standard tuning. I'll say real quick that the most difficult part I find is the last part of the chorus when you're coming to that fourth line. So cover me up. You're coming to cover me up from a B minor. And you have to go from this. If you want to do the riff, you have to go from a B minor to the riff and sing, and it's really tricky. So if you have to just not do the riff there, that's okay. But that's why I messed up there in the second to last chorus. So next, let's do a playthrough in drop D tuning. And I'm going to be a bit more liberal with my strumming and everything here in case that is helpful for you. So let's go to drop D. Okay, so I'm going to put the metronome on 44 beats per minute. And again, that's going to mean we're going to have 3 subdivisions per each chord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Heart on the run keeps a hand on the gun. Can't trust anyone. I was so sure what I needed was more. Tried to blow out the sun. The days when we arranged, we flew off the page. Such damage was done. But I made it through to somebody new. I was meant for someone. Girl, leave your boots by the bed. We ain't leaving this room. Someone needs medical help or a magnolia's bloom. It's cold in this house and I ain't going out to chop wood. Cover me up, I know you're enough to use me for good. Fade to the test when I tore off your dress on a Richmond on high. Not sobered up, I swore off that stuff forever this time. The old lovers sing, I thought it'd be me who helped him get home.
Girl, leave your dress out to dry. We ain't leaving this room. The pussy breeze breaks open wide and the magnolia's blue. It carries his house on stone like a piece of driftwood. Cover me up, I know you're alive to use me for Girl, leave your boots by the bed. We ain't leaving this room. Someone needs medical help or the magnolia's blue. It's cold in this house and I ain't going out to chop wood. Cover me up, I know you're enough. Leave me for good. Cover me up, I know you're enough to use me for
All right, so thanks very much for watching. I hope that was helpful for you all. And I wanted to show you this with all the, slight imperfections here and there, just to give you an idea of what someone can realistically hope for when learning to play this song if they're not a sort of guitar virtuoso. So hope this is helpful. Again, thank you so much for your support. It really means a lot, and I hope these lessons are and have been and continue to be helpful going forward. So I'll see you all in the next one, and until then, take care. Bye-bye, my friends.